Hello children, welcome to class 6. Before I start any topic, let's see the video and then we will move ahead. Okay? So first of all, we'll see a video, small video that is a story, and later on we'll discuss about the topic.
The Blue Fox. One day, a fox was wandering in search of food. A group of dogs spotted him and started chasing him. The fox ran for his life. As he was running, he suddenly tumbled into a big tub of blue dye. He hid there until the dogs were gone.
That was a great escape,
Said the relieved fox to himself. He slowly came out and fled to the jungle. As the fox walked through the jungle, he met other animals on the way. All the animals seemed to be scared of him. He had no idea why. He walked and walked until he reached the jungle pond. As he bent down to drink some water, he looked at his reflection. His whole body was blue in color. He now understood everything. The cunning fox now plotted a brilliant plan. He called out for all his friends and said,
I'm a messenger of God. I'll be your king going forward. Don't be afraid.
The animals believed the strange creature and accepted him as their king. The fox led a happy life as the king of the jungle. One day, the fox king heard a pack of foxes howling.
Oh, what a wonderful music. I cannot stop myself to hold too.
Unable to resist his urge, the blue fox started howling too. Hearing this loud howl, the other animals finally figured out who this strange animal was. They smacked him and drove him out of the jungle.
You can never hide your real identity.
So, this was a story. Do you understand? So now, I hope at least this much is clear what we are going to study today. Okay, so any idea what we are going to study today? Today we are going to study about the format of story writing. Okay, what we are going to study today? Today we are going to study about the format of story writing. Okay, so any idea how to write a story? How to write a story? If you have to write any story, what things you need to do? Or how you can create your own story? So today we will see the videos based on story writing, and later on I am going to give you the proper format of story writing. Okay, so through previous video I hope you all have understood that we are going to study about the part of your writing skill, and that is story writing. So that is why I started the lesson with a small story, short story which has some moral. So now let's see what else in other video.
That we need to write. She has also announced a prize for the best written story. Grandma, I need your help in writing the story.
So that is what you want, huh? Well then, what are we waiting for? Let us get started.
Here is the outline of the story.
Let us carefully read outline of the story.
So what she is saying, so before you need to start a story or need to write it, before you will start writing a story, you need some outline of the story. Okay, so here grandma is helping a child, okay, and she is telling how to create a story. So first, if we are writing a story, we need outlines. Now you must be thinking, what are outlines? Let's see.
An ant is weary and thirsty. Walks along the bank of a river. Stops to quench its thirst. Strong rush of water carries away, drowning the ant. Dove on a tree plucks a leaf, lets it fall. Ant climbs on the leaf, floats safely to the bank. Thanks the dove, a bird catcher under the tree. Lays lime twigs, makes a trap to catch the dove. Ant stings his foot. Bird catcher cries in pain, throws the twigs. Noise draws dove's attention.
So here, this is called outline, where you are getting some clues. Based on that, you need to write a story. So here are some clues which is given by the teacher, and the child has to write a story. So in clues, whatever words or whatever tits and bits sentences are there, you need to complete the sentence and you need to create a story. So these words, these group of words are called outline of the story. Understood?
Dove flies away.
Zizi, after reading this outline, we have a fair idea what this story is about. Isn't that right?
Yep.
Can you guess what story she is going to write? What will be the name of the story? After seeing that outline, can you tell us? Can you tell your friends what is the name of the story? I know, but I want answers from you. Okay, let's see.
Yes, Grandma.
The outline simply describes a sequence of events with characters in the form of points and short phrases. We must now breathe life into this.
So, in outlines, you will get a sequence, and you need to follow the same sequence from there where the outline started. And in that outline you would have find that there are some characters. Can you name the characters? Yes, you're right. There was a hunter, there was an ant and a dove. So 3 characters were there along with a hunter. So the story should be in that story all these characters should be mentioned, and the story will start as the beginning has already given in that story.
Outline and develop these points into a complete story. Do you remember when I read you bedtime stories? We came across all kinds of characters. The characters in the story may be people, animals, and sometimes even non-living things who talk and behave like humans.
So what are the characters might be anyone. Your mama also must have, when you were small, your mama must have told you some story, and you must have found that there are some characters like generally in your grandma or your auntie or your elder sister must have told you a story, and mostly you must have found the story starts like once upon a time there was a king, or long time ago there was a fairy, या इफ़ यू से इन हिंदी, एक समय की बात है, एक राजा था, वो शिकार करने गया, तो सच काइंड ऑफ अ स्टोरी you must have heard. So, and you when you will go through the any story you will go through, you will find there are some characters. It might be living thing, it might be non-living thing, or animal, a human being or animal or anything, and these things are the character of the story.
Human beings. If the characters are animals or non-living things, present them in your story as speaking and behaving like human beings do. This will make your story engaging and enjoyable. Let me tell you the important points you should remember while writing a story. First, always read the outline of the story carefully and understand what the story is all about. The next step is to develop the points of the outline into complete sentences. Follow the outline.
So, whenever you have to write a story, as I said in the beginning, you need to follow some instruction, you need to follow some format. So, when you have, whenever the outlines are given to you to write a story, you need to understand what the story is all about, and the outlines. Try to develop, you have to develop a proper sentence with those outlines. Those outlines means those points which is given to you to frame a story. You need to understand properly, and later on you need to frame proper sentences with those outlines.
That means follow the sequence in which the points are given. These points form the series of events in the story. Do not omit any part of the outline.
So, while reading the outline, you need to understand the sequence, and while framing the sentence, you have to follow the sequence of the outline. Like in previous story, there was a character ant who was very thirsty, and that ant went to drink water and she fell into the lake. So you can't say that earlier there was a dove who was sitting on the tree, and later on you will realize that, oh, top line is missing, so I'll add then. No, you need to follow the proper sequence, how it started, what happened afterwards, and then afterwards, and what was the end of the story. You have to think properly, and you have to make proper sentence in the series of events. You need to follow the series of events. Have you seen serial or something like that, or any your cartoon character? You must have seen they are following sequence in a events in a series. They don't jump from one place to another. So same way you need to follow the sequence, and you need to complete the series of the story. Understood? You are not supposed to omit any outline. Suppose you have given 10 points outline, so all the points should be included. You cannot omit. I explained what is the meaning of omit when I was teaching you article. Omit means removed, delete. So whatever points are given by the person to create a story, you need to add all the outlines in your story. You can't omit anything.
Unrelated or unnecessary events that may change the story completely.
And also you cannot add extra unnecessary events which is not mentioned in the outline. Otherwise what will happen, the moment you will add extra things which is not related to the story, your story will be changed. It will completely change, and the meaning of the story will completely change. So you need to focus on the outlines, and based on that only you need to create your own story. Understood?
Every story has a beginning, middle, and an ending. You may include details to make the story interesting and enjoyable to read. Write the story in the past tense even if the outline may be provided in the present tense.
Now, so each and every event, whenever you will think about any story, any incident, or any function of your family, and you want to create the story, you will find it has a beginning, it has a middle part, and whatever had happened in the end. You just pick up any story from your family or any event which has taken place in your family, you will find there is a beginning, middle, and an end. Same way, when you are creating a story, each and every story has a beginning, a middle, and the end part. End part means where you are going to conclude. It might be happy ending, it might be sad ending, or sometimes you will find it is suspense. Okay, so such kind of a situation you need to create so that the person who is reading your story should take interest, should love to read, and should read, the person should read till end. He or she should not get bored in the middle. And why it happens, people leave the story in the middle, because if the beginning is not interesting, or there is no suspense, or there is no nothing new, the interest of the reader you will find the reader will lose the interest. So that is very important, to focus the interest of the reader. That is very important. Now, once you have started, then you need to include the details to make story, as I said, enjoyable and reading, enjoyable and interesting. It has to be there, since story is always in past tense. It has already happened somewhere, or it is created by someone, imaginary story, so it can't be in present tense or future tense, so it will always in past tense. Okay, and whether the outline is provided by the person is in present tense, then in that case also you need to write the story in the past tense. Understood? Now here it is written, introduce dialogues. Dialogues means it will go in inverted comma, where the person has said this, that you have to write in the same way. It will go in direct speech. It will not go in indirect speech. So it will go inside the inverted comma, like you need to say, somebody said, comma, inverted comma, whatever said, it should be go inside the inverted comma. And then, so when you will add such kind of a thing, dialogues or something like that, your story will become more interesting. People will love to read your story. Okay. See, this is called direct speech. So who said? The ant said. And to whom said? The doe. The ant said to the doe, and whatever story she is saying, so whatever said by the ant, it is there in inverted comma. Understood? So this is called direct speech. This is dialogue also. It is said by the ant to the doe. Understood? Okay. Yes. Now you need to understand the meaning of indirect speech. Like in direct speech, you understood that it is said by something which has gone inside the inverted comma. But if somebody has said something and which I am telling, it is told by me, then it will go that she has said that, and then it will go. So it will go in indirect speech. Okay, so now here two things again they have explained. Number one, each and every story is having some title. Title means the name of the story. So you must have seen in your textbook also, if you have bought class 5 book, then also, or in class 4, if you open your English textbook, you will find each and every lesson has some name, that is called title of the story. Now title of the story mostly based on the character or the event of the story. Fine, you must have heard thirsty crow. So the crow who was thirsty, the fox and the grapes. So here what happens, we discuss about the fox who was hungry and looking for the grapes, and then we studied a story, the guest. So here we discuss about the name of the story was based on the event. Okay, although the character was Muslim Mullah Nasiruddin, if you remember, but the name of the story was on the event. Okay, now next thing is, if you have opened your textbook, or if you will see later on, what you will find, the name of the story or the title of the story, how it is written, all the letters are in capital. All first letter of the name is in capital letter, like the thirsty crow. If I write like this, so the first letter of the means T should be in capital, then thirsty, again T is capital, and the crow. So all three letters should be in capital letters. Understood?
Avoid the use of quotation marks and punctuation marks in the title unless it is a sentence. Zizi, have you thought about a title for your story yet?
The story is about the ant and the dove. So, I will give it the same title. The ant and the dove.
That is a fine title, Zizi. It is good to see that you have used capital letters for the main words, ant and dove. The article and the conjunction are written using lowercase letters.
So understood? Can you see this? Here it is written the ant and the dove. But what happens, since it is started with ant, and here the article is used in the middle of the name, the article is used in small letter, and along with that the conjunction letter is in small letter. Okay, rest of the thing, the main characters are written in the capital letter. Understood?
Have you now understood what we need to do to write a story from a given outline, Zizi?
Yes, Granny. I think I should be able to write it on my own now.
Well then, you can start writing the first draft of your story now. Let us begin writing the introduction or the beginning of the story.
So now let's see how they are writing the beginning of the story. Okay.
On a hot summer day, an ant was walking along the bank of a river.
So do you remember how many parts the story should have? It has 3 parts: beginning, middle and end. So here they have started the story with the beginning part. Now if you remember, in the outline it was written hot summer, then it was there ant and the river. These words were there in the outline. Okay.
The ant was tired and very thirsty. It went to the bank of a river to have a drink of water. The rush of water in the river was strong, and the ant got carried away.
That is a good start, Zizi. Now continue writing the body of the story.
A dove sitting on a tree overhead saw the ant was drowning. So, the dove plucked a leaf from a branch and let it fall.
inside the quotation mark, it means it is talking about the dialogue which is said by the dove to the ant. Okay. So this is direct speech as I explained in the beginning.
River. The ant climbed onto the leaf and floated safely to the bank of the river. The ant was very grateful to the dove and said, "Thank you for saving my life." Later that day, the ant saw a bird catcher. The bird catcher came and stood under the tree. He laid lime twigs and was making a trap to catch the dove. The ant saw this and realized that the bird catcher was trying to lay a trap to catch its friend the dove. So the ant stung the bird from danger.
Well done, Zizi. You've written the story very well.
Hi friends, I had a great time learning to write a
So hope you all have understood how to write a story. When we will come to the next class, I'll give you a proper format of story writing along with an activity. Till then, goodbye.